The Florida State loss to Georgia Tech. How? I'll tell you how. DJ Uiagalelei is the same guy he was at Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the stylistic difference between Pac-12 football and how fast and how quick release it is. And then you look at, you're asking DJ Uiagalelei, and I understand he didn't have a lot of time and space, but you're asking him to win a football game by throwing the deep ball, which he's never done well. And I agree. Having watched a good part of that game, you look at those throws that DJ Uiagalelei missed down the field, those were gimme touchdowns. Gimme touchdowns. Florida State wins that game by 17 points probably if he hits those two throws. But that's not who that guy's ever been. Now, that throw on the seam that was a rope right down the middle, that's his throw. But when you're asking DJ Uiagalelei to use footwork and mechanics to throw a deep ball, give it some air, let your guy run under it, he's never been that guy. His footwork's never been good. He's still, in my opinion, and I know Florida State fans are probably going to lose their minds over it, he can't diagnose a defense. This is exactly what worried me, and I think it is the brilliance of what they did at Oregon State. They had him be a two-read guy. Is that guy open? If not, you're going here. And if not, run. That's it. That he got rid of the football, or when he was struggling, you never heard about him going 0 for 7 straight throws because he turned around and handed the ball off.
Yes.
But what happens when you get dominated at the point of attack, especially on offense? It's not good. That stat about yards before contact, I think it is 0.3 yards before contact.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't run the football. Obviously, DJ...
I said 0.3 yards before contact.
Yeah, I mean, that was the biggest thing that I saw outside of DJ. I mean, obviously, DJ is the big conversation piece because he's the quarterback, and, those throws were missed, and, yeah, everyone's talking about that. But for the bigger picture of the season, your offensive line is a problem. And I understand, hey, this program had a lot of turnover to the NFL. You maybe that offensive line was mitigated a bit because you had Keon Coleman, you had other guys making big plays last year and getting open, and you just weren't holding the ball nearly as long. And frankly, you had a better quarterback last year. Let's, give Jordan Travis credit. You had a better quarterback. And so when I look at Florida State, yeah, they should have won this game, but the problem is they just are not ready to execute in the moment, whether it's DJ, the offensive line, hell, even the linebackers. And number 9 on defense, I don't know what the hell he's doing at linebacker.
Their defense will be fine. Honestly, I'm telling you, trust me when I say Florida State's got their defensive line is a really good unit. They'll be fine. That offensive line and DJ Uiagalelei, it's a problem. Roydell Williams is a hell of a running back who had 0 time and space. I mean, how many times did he have a clean first step? I mean, they were in the backfield. Georgia Tech was in the backfield all game long.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely disrupting anything that the running game was trying to accomplish. What did they average? 3.2 yards a carry. How are you going to win when you average 3.2 and you give up 5.3? You're not winning the game. You're not. And the other thing that really worries me is DJ Uiagalelei sucks. This is a guy that he was at Clemson. How is that possible?
Facts.
That you are Jonathan Smith is a doer of witchcraft. I mean,
well, I think the question should be, how is it any different than why should we have expected DJ to be any different than he was at Clemson, given what we saw at Oregon State? Because you're exactly right? It's a 2-read thing at Oregon State. Hey, this guy or that guy, and if not, then you're running. That type of quarterback play, that type of offensive system in college football does not lead you to winning big games. It does not lead you to getting deep in the postseason. And the reason for that is because you have to be able to diagnose the coverage and understand how to manipulate safeties. And if you can't do that as a quarterback, you're not going to hit the deep ball. And then we're talking about a guy who does not throw a good deep ball, just generally speaking. So when he came to Florida State, I remember us specifically talking about the fact that this guy hasn't been big play material at quarterback in his career. So the idea that he was going to go to Florida State and you were going to be on this redemption tour and he was going to do what you needed him to do was always going to be a bit of a stretch. Now, I'm not saying Mike Norvell can't develop this guy and get more out of DJ. I'm not saying that it's not impossible, but they clearly have a long way to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I look at the fact that he only averaged 15 throws a game at Oregon State. And the shocking number is that he's completed 57% of his passes. That's stunning. And I think you look at the 21-7 touchdown interception ratio. You understand how those plays were called. I think Florida State, they're going to have to carry him all season long. And it's going to be rough. And I look at their schedule now, and I say to myself, boy, BC, Memphis, and Cal, you'd better figure it out, because then when you got to go to SMU, they're in Dallas. It says it right across the front of their jersey. And you have somebody with like Preston Stone, who is, wow, the best quarterback anybody's ever seen anywhere.
Stay hard.
I mean,
man,
the guy is
just incredible.
I mean, my point is Florida State's in real trouble here. And the only way you fix this is you come out and you completely prove the naysayers wrong. And if you think that Boston College, Memphis, and Cal are going to be walks, I think you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because Memphis and Cal played hard football. I don't know what you expect out of Boston College, probably not much. But it is shocking to me that you went and you lost, and the way you lost, getting dominated up front. If you're a Florida State fan, don't worry about the defense. I truly think that defensive line is special. I think they are, and maybe special strong at this point, but they've got talent up front on the defensive line. I don't know what the hell that was on offense.
Not good enough.
If you think DJ can stand back there without footwork and without touch and throw deep balls to win you games, I think you are in a world of hurt. And my question is, will Florida State make the college football playoff? Because nothing's lost. Let's get that straight right now. Nothing. The loss in Dublin sucks. But if you bounce back and you run the table and you are who you say you are, okay, great. You're going to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Chances of that happening.
Yeah, slim and none. I don't buy it. I think that you grinded it out last year. You were right on the edge of it. Then obviously the injury happens with Jordan Travis, and that's that. I just don't. They're going to have to prove it every week, dude.
And I again tell you, I point to the game on November 9th. And I will just continue to tell you that fraud Marcus Freeman. I love my Irish, and I want to believe that this team is good. I want to believe this team's good. I do. And I think the defense is going to be unbelievable. I am not convinced that I don't believe that Notre Dame's better than Florida State offensively. Even after watching Florida State in Dublin. Hope I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just being a pessimistic Irish fan.
Right.
Riley Leonard's got to stay healthy. On a cake schedule, do you think Riley Leonard can stay healthy? Never having shown that he can. Is there any reason we should believe? Do you believe that Riley Leonard can stay healthy? I don't know.
Yeah.
Ask me Saturday night.
Yeah.
Ask me Saturday night. Because that's the game where we're going to find out. Is that if Notre Dame loses to Texas A&M, that Florida State game's meaningless. Because you will not go to the college football playoff.
Right.
Yeah. You do not have quality built into our schedule. My, our, and we. Because after Texas A&M, it's Northern Illinois, Boiler Down, Miami of Ohio, Louisville, Stanford, Georgia Tech, Navy, then Florida State.
Right. So you got to win all those.
If you don't beat Texas A&M, is Louisville a quality enough win where you're like, well, at least they beat Louisville. Now we can get into the college football playoff?
No.
There's not. Now, maybe Georgia Tech. Maybe Georgia Tech finds a way to the top of the ACC for most of the season, and then that October 19th game has real meaning. That'd be great. But I'm terrified about what's going to happen Saturday evening on ABC.
Yeah, I mean, I think it
Against
should
Texas
be.
A&M.
I think, you know, again, we're in that part of the year where everyone's showing us who they are, you know, and Riley Leonard better be good for it.
My ball's already ache. I'm just going to, you know.
Notre Dame, our mother.
James, stadium guy who loves the Big 12, gives us $5 to say, I never said Preston Stone was the best ever. I believe you said he was on Alan Bowman's level, which we all know is, I mean, Tim Tebow.
Do you believe?
Peyton Manning and his ball sack on a trainer's face. Like, this is the kind of level that we know Alan Bowman is. And if Preston Stone is right there with Alan Bowman, I mean,
isn't that the best ever?
Don't we just assume when we hear Mike Gundy quarterback? I mean, the next words out of your mouth are best ever, right?
I'm a man.
I said he's really good. P.S. I might be taking a temporary spot in Arizona for 3 months. No Florida State in the playoff. Okay.
Are you doing some interviews in Arizona for the book, or what
Hanging out at Catholic churches throughout the Southwest?
Yeah. What's the deal?
Or are you just you're just going there to consult on their new grandstand they're building on the visitors side?
At a players program.
You know, Mike Smith gifted the Monty Show 5 members. James, listen,
I love you, bro.
Listen.
You're the best, dude.
I mean, I wake up in the morning, I piss excellence.
Alan Bowman, the best ever. Okay.
Whatever.
Ain't that the truth, awkward guy? Okay, comment. Okay. Temporary supervisor spot. Okay. Like that. Does anyone believe Georgia Tech is a top 10 team right now? No, probably not. Are they top?
The question is, how far is Florida State going to fall with this loss? Because a lot of people, as you said earlier in the show, are calling this jet lag and, it's just an overseas loss.
Excuses.
Yeah. You know, they're just rolling out the excuse
And
train.
listen, if they come out and boat race themselves into a 5-1, 6-1, 7-1 record, what did that loss in Dublin really mean?
Yeah.
Not much. If Mike Norvell figures out that DJ Uiagalelei is a fraud and can't throw the ball deep, maybe they do get out to that.
Do you believe?
5, 6, 7-1. We'll see.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. You got to win games. Georgia Tech. I don't think that Georgia Tech is a top 10 team. I don't think anybody's calling them a top 10 team. Are they top 15? Yeah, I think they are. Who's got a bigger win?
Well, nobody.
Nobody yet. And, you know, you look at Georgia Tech's got some Titans on their schedule, dude, including Myar and We the Beloved, the Dome. Georgia State this week on the ACC network. Syracuse, VMI, at Louisville, Duke, North Carolina. They're not going to lose another game, I think, until there's a chance they run the table until they get to Georgia.
What about Miami?
Well, that game's in Atlanta.
See, I look at the back half of that schedule where you've got Notre Dame, Vatech.
I think it starts with Louisville because I'm not writing off Louisville as a pass. I think Louisville is going to have a season.
Right.
Louisville will be their first real test after Florida State.
Right.
Louisville will be their first real test. That is September 21st in Louisville. Duke at North Carolina. North Carolina is going to have a step back this year. Notre Dame at Vatech, Miami, North Carolina State, and then at Georgia.
Yeah, there's no way they're running the table. That's 4 losses.
And I also think the Notre Dame game being at Mercedes-Benz is an advantage for Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So I think they're potentially they're not going to lose a game until Georgia. Because you can fake your way through a lot of things. You can't fake your way through beating Georgia. Not with that quarterback, not with that defense. We'll see. How good is it, to your point, Willie, how good is Georgia Tech? We're going to find out.
Yeah.
And we probably won't find anything out until September 21st because they're going to roll through Georgia State, Syracuse, and VMI. The one thing we do know about Georgia Tech is that's a physical football team. That's a physical football team. Mike Smith, Monty's a genius. Well, thanks. He trolls James knowing that James will do a super chat to refute a point. Look, the problem with that comment, Mike, is that it feels like you're just blowing off Preston Stone's member. And it is gigantic and beautiful.
A motherfucking,
I mean, you're just tossing it aside. Blow it anyway. Okay, let's move on, man.
Listen, we're in a strange time.
Glass City Buck says Florida State is a top 45 for show.
Yeah, man.
Bryce Martin. Hello, Bryce Martin. FSU is falling between 21 and 24. They'll be in the top 25. Has Florida State fan used the excuse Georgia Tech having Celtic designs on their helmets for the game? I mean, it absolutely is relevant.